So I'm joined for this week's vlog by Martin and just Martin. Tom's not with us today.
Just me today. We're having to dovetail with this kind of new role we're both getting used to, and we've decided just for this week it's a bit of a luxury for us both to be here. Tom at the moment actually is walking around trying to get into 40 classrooms during this hour. So I'm sure by the time we come to the next vlog, it could well be Tom that's doing it on his own, but this is kind of how we're trying to make things work for us.
It's very much a learning process for the pair of you, and it seems to be going well.
Yeah, we're really enjoying it actually. It's bringing little challenges that I don't think either of us had thought about, and for me to try to start explaining what I'm doing after all these years is quite a challenge, and find the reasons why we do some of the stuff. But yeah, I have to say he's been brilliant. I've been doing quite a few of the Year 6 tours, prospective parent tours, and it's really reassuring. I can so confidently say to parents, not only will we be okay in the future, Lipson's going to get better. Mm.
And that's a reminder that these tours are still available for parents and carers.
Yeah, next couple of weeks. Yep. Come and see us during the day, nothing to hide, and the feedback from the tours we've had so far has been great. So it's always a really enjoyable thing to do as well.
One thing I've noticed for this term, this school year, is there's been a focus on attendances, and I know that's a big thing that's going on at the moment. So perhaps you'd like to maybe explain why there's this focus. I mean, I know it's not just a numbers game. It's not just about making sure kids are in classes. It's because it impacts in so many ways, social interaction.
All sorts of reasons.
Future career employments, that sort of thing.
I think I know why you've noticed. It's because you're having to change displays every week. So you're working harder, even harder than you've ever done. Yeah, it's a massive thing. It's a massive thing nationally, but some of the stats are frightening. Nobody in the country has got back to pre-COVID attendance rates. Mm. So we're starting to accept things now that we would never have accepted 5 years ago. So when, for example, we talk about everybody needs to have at least 90% attendance, 90% attendance is 20 days off a year. Lucas, if you had 20 days off a year, you'd be in my office on an absence meeting. The real world doesn't work on, you'd be okay with 20 days off a year. So this is a real plea to parents, this one. I keep talking about the teaching's better than it's ever been, the best group of staff I've ever had around me, blah-de-blah-de-blah. But if we can't get them in, we can't teach them. So please, please, please support us on these attendance pushes. I know we're having some uncomfortable phone calls. I know there's been some tricky meetings. But if we don't put this emphasis on getting your youngsters in school, we feel we're letting them down. So that's the way we look at it.
And it's not just in terms of learning; it's in terms of social interaction, of building confidence, self-esteem, that sort of thing. That all happens by interacting with other people.
I mean, the key one I think you used before, resilience. In the real world, you can't get up on a Monday morning and feel slightly under the weather and not go in. It just doesn't work that way. So if we're trying to build citizens that have got a real place in the world when they leave Lipson, we've got to get them ready for that.
There's a conference going on soon, and Lipson's going to play a part in it. It's a very important conference, isn't it? There's some very distinguished guests coming, and it's...
next Tuesday. We're at Sandy Park in Exeter. We've been invited to a conference that's put on by the Department for Education, Secretary of State for Education, Bridget Phillipson's speaking. I'm not quite sure how or why, but I'm also speaking in the afternoon. I do know why, silly thing to say. I'm speaking in the afternoon because the results at Lipson have been as they have been for the last 2 or 3 years, and people are starting to become really interested in what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those where I get the nice bit of representing the school, but it's on behalf of everybody. And the really pleasing thing is one of the things I've been asked to talk about is some of the extra stuff we do, the enrichment, the dance, the drama, the PE, the art, and the music. So I've managed to persuade our friends at the DFE that all the delegates who are greeted, and I think the invitation goes out to every school in the southwest, from Bristol down to Cornwall, and across to as far as Dorset, and they'll be greeted by the Lipson band and the Lipson choir on the way in. So I couldn't think of a better way of showing off music at Lipson rather than letting people hear it. So yeah, it's a bit of a perk to be invited. We've got to make the most of the opportunity, and hopefully people will like listening to the band and maybe pick up a few things along the way.
I'm sure they will, and we'll try and get some footage of that and pop it up so that people can see what
That'd be great.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.